Hello. Man United told to sign world-class England star and replace £47 million signing. Manchester United have been advised to replace Andre Onana and bring in a world-class England player to get the club back up to the upper echelons of European football. Welcome to our new edition of News from Carrington. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. United have suffered an alarming fall from grace since Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement in 2013 and currently find themselves just 14th in the Premier League. The Red Devils won 13 league titles under Fergie but are miles behind the likes of Premier League champions-elect Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City and even Chelsea. Ex-Manchester United goalkeeper Tim Howard believes it will take at least 2 transfer windows for current manager Ruben Amorim to both get in the players he wants and offload unwanted stars from Old Trafford. "I like him. I like his football knowledge," Howard told beIN Sports when asked about Amorim, who replaced Erik ten Hag as United manager back in November. "He understands what this squad needs and has a fundamental philosophy which was successful at Sporting Lisbon. Having success outside of England doesn't guarantee success in the Premier League, but I like him. We can only judge him over the next 18 months because the squad needs an overhaul. If you want United to get back into the Champions League, to win titles, these players are not good enough, so they need some of them out the door, and that will take at least 2 transfer windows. There needs to be great changes in the playing squad this summer. One possible change, according to Howard, is to replace £47 million signing Onana following his mixed season at the Theatre of Dreams. Onana was one of United's better players in the first half of the campaign, though that isn't saying much, but the Champions League finalist has struggled of late, attracting criticism for some basic mistakes and wayward distribution. Onana is pretty far into his development, so you're almost at the point of what you see is what you get," former USA goalkeeper Howard added. "Can it be refined? Sure it can. He can still make changes at this stage of his career. But that's going to be a lot on the manager. I think with Onana, I would possibly change him, but I don't think it's top of the priority list. If you get a really solid team in front of him, then you can see if Onana can get better. But if not, there's a change there. From a priority point of view, it's not up there right now." Perhaps Manchester United's biggest concern is the lack of firepower up top, with Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee scoring just 5 goals in the Premier League this season combined. Bruno Fernandes and Amad Diallo are the club's joint top goalscorers this season with just 6 each. Discussing United's need for attacking reinforcements, Howard said, "I think you need to get a seasoned European striker. If you get Harry Kane, that is a massive step to achieving the things you want to achieve at the top end of the Premier League. Harry Kane is every bit a world-class striker. I think if we turn up on the first day of next season and Kane is in a United shirt, then they're well on their way." Kane scored more Premier League goals than any player in history barring Alan Shearer before leaving Tottenham to join Bayern Munich in 2023. The England captain has enjoyed 2 productive seasons at the Allianz Arena, scoring an impressive 75 goals in 79 appearances. Kane may at some point be open to returning to the Premier League, as he needs just 48 more goals to surpass Shearer as the division's all-time record goalscorer. Amorim confirmed 2 players won't play against Real Sociedad. Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has explained the absence of 2 key players ahead of the first leg of the Europa League round of 16 tie against Real Sociedad. The Red Devils bowed out of the FA Cup in the 5th round last weekend after a penalty shootout loss to Fulham. They are now reliant on winning the Europa League to secure silverware and qualify for the Champions League next term. Ahead of the game, the club have suffered a fresh setback with Harry Maguire and Manuel Ugarte being left out of the 18-man travelling squad. The duo picked up minor injuries against the Cottagers, and Amorim said the club can't take any risk. He told reporters, "Small things. So we are being careful with them because, in this moment, we cannot allow us to lose more players for a long time. We are taking care of them in Carrington, and they cannot play this game because it will be a greater risk." Several youngsters were training alongside the senior squad earlier on Wednesday, but Amorim has opted for just 18 players for the Basque trip. With Maguire sidelined, the Portuguese could reinstate Noussair Mazraoui in the back 3. Patrick Dorgu, who is only suspended domestically, could come in at left wing-back. United have a natural replacement in Case Moreau for Manuel Ugarte in the number 6 position. Toby Collier has also made the squad after injury and could make a substitute appearance. The club graduate has impressed as the holding midfielder for the Red Devils, but given his recent layoff, Amorim may not risk him in the 11. Despite the vast number of injuries, The manager will hope to secure a positive result at the Real Arena before the second leg next week. United also have a crucial Premier League clash against Arsenal at Old Trafford over the weekend. Amorim will no doubt want to field his best available lineup. Maguire and Ugarte could be back in the 11 to face Mikel Arteta's side, who have won the last 3 league meetings. Man United winning the Europa League would only set Ruben Amorim back to square one. Ruben Amorim doesn't need to be reminded that Manchester United's hopes of salvaging this season rest firmly on the Europa League. Languishing in the bottom half of the Premier League table and already knocked out of both domestic cups, it's been a campaign to forget for the Red Devils. Despite their domestic woes, continental competition has provided some welcome respite for United this season. Ahead of their last 16 clash against Real Sociedad, the 3-time European champions remain unbeaten in the Europa League, having avoided defeat in each of their 8 league phase outings. With next to nothing left to play for in either of the cups or the league, Amorim can afford to put all of United's eggs in the Europa League basket. There's an added pressure to winning the competition as well, given the champions gain automatic qualification into the Champions League, a competition United have next to no hope of qualifying for via the league. A guaranteed £15 million is banked for just making the league phase alone, with extra millions on offer to clubs based on their results and how far into the competition they go. United, quite literally, cannot afford to miss out on Champions League football again. But what if United winning the Europa League, and subsequently qualifying for the Champions League, ended up doing Amorim and company more harm than good? It's a distinct possibility, at least based on the opening 5 months of his time in charge. United have regressed under the dogmatic Portuguese coach, who remains wedded to his 3-at-the-back system. Despite calls to change the side setup, Amorim has stuck by the formation, insisting he'll find a way to make it work. However, to do just that, he'll need time on the training ground, something that playing in the Champions League next season won't give him. The bottom line is that United, in their current state, simply aren't good enough to compete at Europe's top table. Especially with the recent format change, which means more matches in the league phase, often against higher quality opposition. United have had enough spankings off teams in the Premier League already. Enduring a similar experience in the Champions League wouldn't be good for morale or Amorim's reputation in the dressing room. There's an argument to be made that, as well as United's PSR concerns, the finances on offer in the Champions League will help them attract better quality players. But the Old Trafford outfit have spent big on the next big thing in the past, and it's rarely worked out well. In fact, oftentimes it's just made things worse. One of Amorim's strongest qualities, as displayed during his spell with Sporting, is coaching a good player into a great one. And if Amorim is to be a success at United, perhaps missing out on Europa League glory could prove more beneficial than winning the tournament altogether. Thanks for following me.